Okay, well, welcome to Backstage Pass. It's kind of a casual hangout in the corner here of the studio of CP24. I'm Kevin Newman, and I'm your Backstage Pass dude for the night. And what we're going to do here is we've sort of come up a little bit early so that you can take a look at CP24 behind me as they prepare to begin their live broadcast on television. This is kind of an experiment in transparency for us. What we're trying to do is let you see what we often see when we create a television show. So you're going to see a lot of raw feeds. You're going to see a lot of the reporters that you know and the on-air staff that you know in unguarded moments. And you're going to basically see what a great night this is for people in the news business. I mean, the story that we're about to cover is going to break under our feet. We don't know who's going to win this election, so we have to be 100% responsive, and we have to be accurate. And we have to make sure that we don't make mistakes and go too far out, because the story can change on a dime as various reports come in. So let me show you what I have here. You can sort of see I've got a little setup here. The studio is down there. And in this studio, these are called router switches here. And what this allows me to do is to punch up just about anywhere in the CP24 universe. For example, let's see what I can show you here. They're about to go live on the main set there. And so what I could show you is the camera setting up for the location. Stephanie Smythe and Nathan Downer there. There's Ann Romer. There's a nice little moment. They're about to go on live television. It's a real partnership when you do stuff like this because you have to fill a lot of airtime. There's not always a lot to say all the time. But Stephen LeDrew there on the left, you know him well if you're a regular viewer of CP24, and Ann Romer. There they go. They're up live now on CP24 with Your Vote 2014. And you can see Stephanie Smythe and Nathan Downer there preparing to go on next. I think that was Stephanie doing a selfie. Yes, we're incorrigible. Our egos are massive. So what they're doing now is typically at the beginning of a broadcast, they do what they call a whip around. And what a whip around is essentially, hang on. There we go. It's taking me a while to get used to where everything is, so hang with me here. But what a whip around is essentially where they go around to all the campaign headquarters and they, check in with their correspondents that are there. The campaign headquarters in this case, there's one in Toronto, there's one in Grimsby, and where is the other one? Let me see. I think the other one is in Stony Creek, near Hamilton. That's Andrea Hovarth's headquarters. So they're doing this whip around. Let's see. I can show you that as it's going on.
I'm walking up to the party room.
Ah, okay. So there's this other thing I'm going to show you here, and this is the MTV party room. So what they've done is a couple floors up in the MTV studio here is they have created the CP24 election party room. This is the shift none of us pulled, and we wish we all had, because there's liquor there. And there's about 100 invited guests. There's a DJ. And pretty funky vibe going on up there. And basically what they'll do is they'll walk around, and we have a reporter up there who is Farah Nasser, and she'll be walking around the party room there, interviewing people about what they think of the results as they go around. Not a great shot, but this is the control room now. These are the people. This is the most interesting place on election night, I have to tell you. And it's also the biggest pressure cooker of them all. The guy with the ball cap there, he's the director. His name is Murray King. And he has all of those sources on the left-hand side that you can see to choose from, all those feeds that are coming into the CP24 control room. And he has to choose based on the direction that he gets and the pictures that he likes. He chooses which ones appear on television. And beside him you can see a number of staff that are going to be putting in some of the election results. But his job is an incredibly aggressive one. Murray is the best that they have in the building. And again, he's the kind of guy that has to, keep on his toes. So let me show you the back deck here. going to move around to the back, and this is the production deck. The three people you see here, this is Linda, Stacy, and Leanna, and they are the brains of the election night broadcast today. They are the people who will choose which reporters are on at one time. They will decide when they're going to show results. They will decide what stories are trending, what stories matter, where this story is breaking tonight, and they'll do that live and in real time. It's, again, another very intense thing that they do because they, they are basically in 100% response mode. Polls don't close here for a good other hour, so what we are engaged in here mostly is an exercise in making sure that everybody understands how the table has been set here, that who has what at stake. You can see all the buttons. I've still never figured out exactly how they're able to remember what buttons represent what. But if they make a mistake, it can be pretty bad because it can appear on television. You can hit the wrong button and the wrong reporter can come on television. So, they're all pros, and but they're talking right now to about a dozen people who are spread out around the city of Toronto. I don't know if you can hear in there. Is the microphone in there?
Okay for the slot.
Let's see if we can get a little sound in there. I'll just give you a listen in.
We're also live in Stony Creek at the Leader Andrea Ford hopes her decision not to support the Liberal budget pays off. And Stephen LeDrew, you have your walking shoes on.
I have my walking shoes on. No question about that.
Stand by, Brian. Stand by, Brian.
We're talking about parties tonight, political
CP24.
parties, and part of political parties are real parties.
Okay.
We have analysts.
Coming here, stand by, Guy.
We have former politicians.
Stand by, Red Common
We have a whole group of people up for
Are we going to do election
party?
Yes.
We did start partying earlier.
Still have a Julie, still have you, still have Ann Wild.
So pretty calm right there right now, because they're mostly executing what we call a lineup in this business. In other words, they were able to plot out the first hour of this show because the polls have not closed yet, and so as a result, there's no news happening. So what they're doing, as you can see, is they're walking around. Oh, it looks like Stephen's heading up towards the party there. Maybe we'll queue up the party room. Let's go to the party room, listen in on there for a minute, and see what happens when Stephen comes in.
Welcome. Hey. Now the party can officially get started, Stephen. LeDrew,
Great
you're
to see
here.
you. And you have a wonderful group of people here at this
Isn't
party.
it great?
Just brought in another. Penny came in with me for you.
Oh.
I've never met her before, but she's
Thank you.
looking for the party, so that's delightful.
Welcome, Penny. Welcome.
And so I have to leave you now because I have to go down and talk more
Oh,
about
okay,
the
okay.
topic.
Before you leave. It's going to be a long night. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Chelsea, you come in here. We got some snacks for you. Share with Ann.
This is so
Play
fancy.
fair. It is
Silver tray.
tuna tartare.
Now, wait a second.
Polenta,
I saw a
truffle
bar here,
polenta.
Barb.
Anyone?
I saw a bar here.
No drinks for you, buddy.
No drinks
You
for me?
stick to water. You
Just
stick
for
to
you,
water.
I'll see you in a
Hydrate.
few
Hydrate.
minutes. Tell Ann I'm coming back.
And he's on his way back. Welcome to the CP24 election party. We're talking political parties, but this is the party to be at. We have diverse reaction here from all around, and
Okay, so I have to do this television hit, so I'm going to leave you for a minute. But actually, you can watch me do this television hit from a different angle as we simulcast it on the web here. I don't know what I'm going to say, so give me a second to prepare this. How you doing, guys? I don't know about you, but this is a big event. You guys are the big event tonight, but I'm one of those guys who always likes behind-the-scenes stuff. So what we've done is we built the ability for the very first time for you to see what happens at the CP24 election broadcast behind the scenes. And we're doing it at CP24.com, so you just have to log on there. We've got a live chat going as well. And here, let me show you some of the things that I can do in my little cubbyhole, for instance. I can show you what's going on in the control room right now. As you guys are preparing your broadcast, I can show you what's going on upstairs at the MTV TV party. So the idea here is twofold. You know, why would we do this? Well, one of the reasons that we would do this is me on the web talking that way while I talk on television this way. It's a confusing universe. Anyway, two reasons that we do this. One is that we want to enhance the experience of watching an election night broadcast. So you could, on your television set, you could be watching Stephen and Ann, and then you can flip up your laptop, go to CP24, go to the Backstage Pass, and you can see what's going on before and after they do their broadcast. But the second one is a little more serious. We ask for transparency from our politicians. Tonight, we're giving you transparency on the media side. We're lifting the veil, and, you know, Stephen and Ann, usually we don't show the recipes and we don't show the stuff that goes into baking the cake. We just deliver a beautiful cake. Well, tonight we're delivering a beautiful cake, and I'm the guy with the recipes. No, you don't want to know what's in sausage. There you go. So I'll turn off. I will turn off. That was my little television hit. So as you can see, it's a different level of energy when you have to do television. You know, you have to punch it out because they're moving at a much higher pace, and we can have a much more casual conversation. Let's show you what's going on in some of the regions around the area. This is George Lagogiadis, of course, from CP24. He is at the top HUDAC headquarters, which is in Grimsby at the Mountain Ridge Community Center there, and he's preparing to go live into CP24. One of the key things that these guys have to do is they have to be really plugged into the people who are on the ground there. George looking a little bit bored because there's nobody there. That's part of the problem. You have to stand there and talk about an empty room for a little bit of time. But he's a pro. He knows what to do. And I will take him off as soon as he starts to do anything that he wouldn't be pleased that we're showing you on the web here. But one of the things that he has to do is he has to be plugged into the party officials that night, and he has to be able to get the intel and the information as quickly as he possibly can.
Oh, yeah.
And know
I'll
particularly
call for my board.
his key moment will come later tonight.
I'm going to say,
with
put up the big board.
interesting crew. And
Let's put up the big board. All Hudacs, no whammies. No.
Okay, sorry, let's go back here. So, as I was saying, basically what he has to do is be plugged into, you know, what all the party people are saying and doing. That's where Tom Hudak will be later tonight. He has to be able to get a signal as to, you know, when Hudak is going to be coming into that hall to give either the acceptance speech or the defeat speech. And, you know, he's going to be pretty busy as sort of a center of spin. What ends up happening during most of the night is that people are attracted to the reporters that are in the room, and you know, they are trying to get their message out. Even now, even in this last hour before polls close, they are trying to you know, make sure that people have messages of confidence and things like that. They're usually pretty careful, as are we at this point, because people are voting. We don't talk about results. We don't talk about the horse race. We can talk in generalities about what's going on, but we try not to influence people's votes in these last few minutes, because that's just not what the democratic process is about, quite frankly. We have this Scribble Live going on as well, which you may want to do. If you go to our website at cp24.com, you'll see we're starting to begin, anyway, a conversation there that you can have amongst yourselves. So it's actually a three-way conversation. You can be watching on television, the CP24 election broadcast. You can be interacting with us on the Scribble Live chat room, which is on the same site as our picture, I think it is. And you can be watching me blab here and give you the tour around all the various places. So what this is a bit of an experiment. What we're trying to do is lift the veil on how election broadcasts occur, provide a little bit of context around it. And it's a good hour for that, because we're at about, I guess, 17 minutes after 8 at this point, and the polls have not closed across Ontario yet, so people are continuing to vote. And you know, who knows what value this has? One of the things that, you know, I believe in anyway, is that you know, sometimes the media is the least transparent of our institutions and our democracy, ironically, because it's the very thing that we demand of others. So this is an attempt to sort of address you, bring you into what our tent is on one of the biggest nights for TV news people, and that's always an election night, and see what your impressions are of the work that we do. So there's a conversation that we're trying to get started here. And if you go to cp24.com, you'll see that there's this live stream on the page, and then underneath you'll be able to see the conversation that's going on. I've been on a little bit. I can, if you have any questions or anything, you can actually ask me, and I'll answer you as soon as I have a second here. I'm going to show you, let's see what else we got here. I'm going to show you some of the areas that the various parties are standing by. Oh, actually, this is pretty cool. Jamie Goodfriend is doing something that is a classic CP24 thing. He is standing by at a house party. Now, this is a bunch of people who have got together to watch the election coverage. There's Jamie there. And he's broadcasting by iPad alone. So the signal there, it looks like there's a fair number of NDP supporters there. And the only way, there he is, he's about to go on and explain to the folks at CP24 exactly why he's doing this. But this is an innovation. I've never seen another newsroom that attempts this kind of stuff. Actually, I've never seen another newsroom that attempts most of the kind of stuff that we're doing. But he has his iPad there, and he's in a room, and we're going to go live, or he's about to go live, on television through the iPad. And the advantage of this, and the reason that we do this kind of thing, is because of its flexibility. You know, normally in television, we bring a satellite truck to get a professional level picture. But you know, the technology and the Wi-Fi service is certainly at the stage now where we can take something like an iPad and move it into a location and create sufficient enough television that it can be interesting, and we can get broadcasting in many more places and much closer to what people are interested in. So there's Jamie preparing to go on. I don't know, is there any audio on Jamie's feed there? Let's see what he's got.
Like I said, how could you say the word integrity and Kathleen Wynne in the same sentence?
Oops. It's sort of like being a voyeur in a television newsroom, as you can pop around here and just see all of the, let's see if anybody else is, oh, yeah, I'll take you over to another one of those kitchen parties. Gian Lee is standing by to go live as well from a kitchen party elsewhere in Toronto. She's on an iPad as well. And let's show you one more. Travis Danrich is at the Liberal kitchen party.
Government can escape the
Kitchen
poison
party,
chalice.
'cause there's a
The
couple
odds
of
are about 90
Whoa.
to 1
Oh,
again.
there he
Name
is.
one.
So he's just swapped his iPad around to show you
That's an opportunity. And that's
the view in the kitchen. He's literally in the kitchen
so energetic and so
with the iPad.
that history. We're going to come back to many times this evening. And back to you.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. This is Toronto.
There you go. He swapped it around.
Stacy, do you guys hear me?
Hey, Stacy, I gotcha. It's Travis.
Until the polls close. Our special election coverage.
People are going to get a lot more tense because there's going to be an enormous rush of data and information into the CTV news system
Yourself on her IFB the whole time, Troy?
that's going to provide the results. Let's listen in here for a bit.
Christina says she heard herself on IFB 120 the whole time.
She has a really difficult job. She has to coordinate all of the audio sources from live locations across the city. That's Brian Carr there. He's the Director of Operations and Engineering, and he has designed this whole night. And you'll be hearing more from him a little bit later on once we get past the polls closing. Oh, looks like they've punched up the iPads. Let's see if we can jump in on that right now.
Let's go live next to CP24's Jackie Crandall's at NDP candidate Jagmeet Singh's headquarters in Bramley Gore, Malton. Hi, Jackie.
Nope.
How many more people are they throwing to?
Is Travis hanging in? Hope he worked out because his shoulder's going to get one. You get a sense of just how much patience it takes to be on television. I mean, when you're, when you see it happening, it seems to be really instantaneous. It's like everybody's sort of arrived there, but you can see the amount of time and preparation it takes. and how much waiting around there is for your moment.
Kitchen parties, stay live until I move. Stay up on your face until I move. Everyone, shot of your face right now.
These people have an incredible job tonight. They're the people who are going to be running the boards and the result boards. They have to input the information that they get from the elections consortium. Basically, there's one source of data for all of the returns once they start arriving in at 9 o'clock that will pour into the CTV News election system and will basically provide all of the results as they are made available.
Here are the numbers for the
And then that is in turn, once the results are inputted in, that in turn auto-generates the graphics that you will see. Those are the elected, the leading, so in your particular riding, it pushes it out, and it's a constant stream. That's George Hoff behind. He's the guy who's in charge of that data stream. Now, I've hosted election shows many times in the past, and the worst possible moment for any election team is when this system breaks down, when there is no stream of data, and you are stuck there talking about 0 polls reporting in 0 precincts for far too long. If this works well, and if it works as they're expecting it to work, what will happen is at 9 o'clock a storm of data will pour into the system and will automatically trigger some of the graphics. You can see that they're starting to line up, and they will also trigger those numbers at the bottom that you can see there, and they will be constantly changing in real time. Liberals elected, PCs elected or leading, NDP leading or elected, and that number on the right there, that red 54, that's a critical night. We call that in this industry the magic number. If any party reaches that magic number, the number of 54, they have a majority government. So you can see that they're starting to prepare the election system for what is happening in about 27 minutes, making sure all the data lines are up. But as I've said, there have been far too many times when that system is broken down and broadcasters are left with nothing to report for a very long time. And then it all comes in at once, and it's a heck of a thing to try to keep up with. Let's go to, looks like one of the kitchen parties is underway.
So are you surprised that it's this tight of a race between all 3 parties?
Yes and no, right? I mean, everyone's been sort of fighting hard, and everyone has very different ideas about the future of Ontario, but I mean, it's wide open, right? So we'll see who wins.
All right, should be an exciting race. And I should point out, Travis here, everyone, made the food for us. This is crazy. Flank steak, salad, and he made the dressing himself. So I think out of all the kitchen parties, this is the one to be at. So we are in the riding of St. Paul's. We're waiting for the polls to close and for the results to come in. This, of course, everyone here is hoping that the candidate in this riding, Justine Duluth, will pull off a win and also ultimately see the Progressive Conservatives lead this government at Queen's Park. Back to you, Anne.
Okay, Jeelan Lee at the Progressive Conservative Kitchen Party. Let's see where they're going next. Let's see, should I just go over and try to get him? Let's see, what do we got? We got 15 minutes? Such a polite Canadian, aren't I? Here, there you go. Here's who I want to talk to. Let's see, they're over there. Robin Sears, of course, was the chief of staff to Bob Rae when he was premier. Now a businessman living in Toronto. You see him on a lot of the political panel shows from Ottawa. Often representing the moderate NDP opinion. And let's see if I can pull Sean over. Try this anyway. Hey guys, hey Robin. Good to see you. Another election night, all right. Can I interrupt for a second and pull Sean over to do this little chit-chat thing?
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Come on over. Got to turn on Mr. Microphone here. So I know you guys have been super busy today, and we've done this when I worked at other networks too. This sort of, it's not an exit poll, which they have in the United States.
Election day poll.
Election day poll. I'm just going to actually turn around. There's a camera there.
Oh, there we go. Hello.
So what are the mechanics of an election day poll? What do you guys do?
Well, we have a panel, an online panel of over 80,000 Ontarians. And so what we do is we prepare them for the big day today. Mm-hmm. We ask them to go out and vote. We ask them to come back home. You'll see an invitation from us. Mm-hmm. And they click into it and they complete a survey. And the survey will ask them about who they voted for,
naturally,
but why they voted that way, when they made up their mind, what they...
Let's do a little tour of what's going on out there. Let's see how the party's going.
He's like, so do you want to on the camera? You look beautiful on camera.
Oh, it's kind of nice.
Thanks, guys. Sorry.
We got about 100 people up there.
I should retweet these.
They got a couple things to do. They have a cupcake poll underway. Don't see anybody eating cupcakes. Oh, they got an artist, which is pretty cool. That's Jessica Gorlicki, and as part of what the party is, she's painted the 3 party leaders, as you can see. And she's just done that, like in the last 45 minutes. So she's doing some live art. We'll see which one of those 3 ends up being premiered by the end of the night. That's hilarious. I love that it's on a swing. But man, does she work fast? Because I was up there about an hour ago, and that was just a white canvas at that point. There's the cupcakes. You can see the lady delivering them underneath. There's 3 colors, of course: orange, blue, and red. And you choose the cupcake that you feel an affinity for. And by the end of the night, they're going to try to find out whether the cupcake poll matched the real poll or not. In the meantime, people get to eat cupcakes. There's a DJ up there as well. I don't know if you can hear the music. I don't know if they're spinning the tunes yet. But he is Jody Litvak, and he has some pretty cool parties. Actually, the thing that I think we're probably looking most forward to is that this is where the after party for the election coverage night will be. So eventually we'll all make our way up there, but pulling some people together.
So what we're going to do is we're going to show you what that moment is like in the control room, the bunker a couple floors down, and just how everybody starts to ramp up. The whole game is suddenly on the field,
and it's breaking under our feet, and it's a great moment for the Backstage Pass. So join us there at CP24.com or KNLive.com, as well as streaming as well. And we also have a live chat going on there, so you can ask me questions if you're unsure about what you're seeing. By all means, join in, CP24.com. Love to have you for the Backstage Pass.
David, music, stand by net 74. And
Election coverage
dissolve 74.
2014 returns with more right after this break.
Ready, B in 3, 2, roll B, dissolve.
Cool.
By break. That was good. That's right again.
Election 2, everybody.
2, break.
Okay, so they're at a commercial break right now.
Hey Kev, I guess I'm up with you now. I wanted to show you this this room down here. This is the graphic bunker. This is Peter McGrigan.
Hey boys.
Who's the guy behind a lot of the graphics here.
Awesome.
And this is Ryan McCauley, who's one of our engineers who puts together kind of the master control chain and brings all these computers here together to appear on that screen. So,
that's wicked.
For about 30 seconds, we're going to activate our main screen here. Ryan's going to punch the button over here, bring it up. And if you stick with us,
yep,
you'll notice that that turnaround on air.
Okay, so if you're watching at home, you're in a commercial break right now, but something's about to change, so you'll be able to see what changes on the television set from what Brian and the boys in the bunker down there are about to program in.
3, 2, 1, dissolve 5, 2, and...
So Stephanie's going to talk about this. As soon as you see Stephanie, she's going to start talking about the screen, and then we're going to start layering in levels of graphics down here in the control, outside of master control.
Okay, we're about 5 minutes to the polls closing, so that's going to be a wicked moment.
Yeah, when they come up, you'll see all the graphics will come up with zeros in them.
Yep.
Because we're waiting on live data to start. So, although we've been running rehearsals all day, we've turned off all the practice data now. The pipes are connected to the real system. And as soon as that data starts flowing, you'll see it first here live on CP24 and CTV.
So how many times has it not happened? I was talking about the times that I've been an anchor and the data doesn't come. So we all sort of go like this and cross our fingers, right?
Yeah, there's not much you can do in advance, right? I mean, you're just looking at zeros, so you're really holding your breath until you see that first zero turn into a 1, and then
yeah.
You're probably going to be okay.
You're getting some data, thank goodness. All right, well that's a great moment because we get a lot of the advanced polls in first, and it all begins to flow in. Okay, Brian, that's awesome. Thanks for checking in, man.
So we're just
keep going.
We're just going to Stephanie's going to bring it up right now. Just stick with us 1 second.
Yep. No. Take all the time you want.
Here comes. Stephanie's going to talk about it now.
Once it comes in, do not leave.
There's the director telling us to stand by on the screen.
stick with the Liberals, stay the course, or do they change their minds?
And we're going to find out in minutes. We're going to activate our hit screen right now and show you along the bottom of the screen.
There we go, just activated the panel on the right.
There it goes.
And then we're activating the bottom. And there you go, the election results screen is on air, and we're about 3 minutes to the top of the hour, 2 minutes top of the hour, and maybe 2-3 minutes from live data.
All right, good luck, you guys. That looks awesome. As they say, I'm a Star Trek geek. That was the punch it moment, right? This is where the ship starts to take off, and we move into light speed. It's going to be wicked.
Kev, I'm going to get out of here, go back to the control room and shut down that clock in 1 minute.
Okay, we'll watch up there. We'll check up there. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
That was awesome. The election consortium is feeding data into our election system, and the results are starting to come in.
Catch the arrival of wind, or Tristan going to get off the riser? They worry that if they get off the riser, they're not going to be
Looks like they've some of the polling data. There looks like there is now a spread that CTV News is projecting. The Liberals will win a spread of between 37 to 56 seats. The PCs will win a spread of between 33 and 50 seats. The NDP will win a spread of between 13 to 24 seats. That is off of our live chat. Now, that can be in any sort of combination here. That does not mean the Liberals are going to win this election or the Conservatives. It does seem to make it difficult that the NDP will win this election, but you can see that the spread is fairly tight between the Liberals and the Conservatives. Depending on how effectively they have got their vote out today and tonight, that will determine whether the Liberals or the PCs are able to form a government in Ontario. No word yet on whether this means a minority or a majority government. You can see Brian Carr there in the control room as the data is starting to get in. You can see tension starting to increase along the back deck there. Those are the producers of our broadcast, Linda, Stacy, and Liana. Joanne McDonald, Jonathan Kay from our headquarters, making sure that everybody is crossing their T's and dotting their I's. Let's see what else we have going on. Okay, let's give our control room camera a little bit of a break here. He's been doing yeoman service as the polls closed, and we were able to start receiving the data. One of the people...
They're not rotating through.
One of the other people that is watching that data very carefully is Kyle Christie up in the newsroom on the other side. I'm over here. I'm waving in the distance in case you want to know where I'm located in this picture. But Kyle has a series of data. Now that we're starting to get some of the results in, what Kyle's doing is the CTV election system here is translating the data into a graphic form. So what you see across the bottom here is the leading and elected numbers as of this hour, and most of these would be advanced polls, primarily from the city of Toronto. But what Kyle and his producer there are trying to crunch is how does this affect the electoral map of the province? So he is moving over to his position here, and he'll also be reviewing some of the results from Eglinton Lawrence there. You can see some fairly significant numbers. Now, the key number that you want to watch in any of these graphics, whether they're on television or whether you're watching them here, is how many polls reporting. So in that case, that's one poll of about 200 reporting. That's just too early to really declare anything. But you can see the data is already starting to adjust the map. The map that you see on the left that Kyle has there is the map at dissolution of the Ontario legislature. So that's the map of the way things used to look before tonight's election, and it will form the basis of where it develops from here. So, that map will morph tonight. That map, we'll see, how significantly it morphs, but Kyle will be able to drill down and determine just right down to each riding and maybe even sections of each riding where that vote is starting to come in. I'm going to take you where some of those results are being crunched right now, and that is our data room. George Hoff is the person directing them. Some of these people are students from Conestoga, from universities around Ontario. And they are bringing in the data from the consortium and processing it into our CTV News system so that it is pushing the graphic numbers that you see below. Obviously, it has to have a premium on accuracy. That's actually, that's Anton Koshani. This is an interesting shot. This is a much more interesting shot than I thought. These are the people who will call the shape of the next election for CTV News. The white-haired gentleman's name is David Quantz, and he is our election guru. Quantz has called every election at CTV since I worked here in my 20s, since I think 1982. So he has this uncanny ability, and that's the white-haired gentleman in the front there, to take a look at all of the data that is pouring in right now at this very early stage and measure it against a model that he has developed. And what Dave Quantz is going to do is he's going to consult with Anton Koshani, who you just saw leave the picture, taking a look at this data, and he has two things he has to do tonight. The first thing is he has to be right. There's nothing worse for a news organization than calling an election and calling it wrong, because that just kills your credibility, frankly. So he has to get it right. A lot of pressure on him right now. And the other thing he has to do is he has to try to get it first. We're in competition with the CBC and with Global and with other broadcasters in being able to tell viewers first what the data pouring into this room right now is telling them. So I'm glad we have this shot. I didn't know we'd have this, but this is absolutely critical. And we're going to try to link with Dave and with Anton once they have made their call on the election. I'm going to hold on this for a minute in the control room of CP24 here.
Ontario panel? Yes. Okay, so you got that Arden Ontario panel, Dave? Tell Stephen about the new house petition. Jeff, you're not?
We're hearing that Mitzi Hunter right now is leading.
Bramley Gormalton, JK?
It was in the transition, everybody's hearing.
Okay.
So you want Ann and Stephen to do this? Do you want me to get Stephen back at the desk?
No, let's just. But where are we going by channel?
We're going to go back to the Ontario panel. So you want to have
go to Stephen and put Horvath over top of him.
Okay, so out of this, Ann, we're going to throw to Stephen. Stephen will have the panel.
Last year during the by-election.
And you got the board up already? You have the board?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling
For
very
Horvath?
excited.
Elected?
I think Mitzi and
Andrew Horvath elected. They're just preparing that board to declare that on air.
Put the Andrea Horvath board up. She's been elected, okay?
In the Hamilton area that she's in. So these declarations of elected are going to be starting coming pretty quickly.
She's been elected, and then the board will do that first with this panel. After they declare them.
a lot of work, obviously, and so we are excited and we're prepared.
Okay, thanks.
For this, we were prepared for this election.
And then we're going to go to Rena. Is Rena good to go?
We're ready.
Darryl, you're a volunteer. Talk to me about the experience you had.
Should I put Andrea Horvath in the pop-up box? We put the board that she's been elected in the pop-up to see it one by one, bringing in things and bringing in food. And so once again, we are with Susan. Now we are.
It's unclear if it's minority or majority, correct?
We're about to declare a Liberal government. Stand by for this. You can see they're preparing that in the room. The decision desk has made its decision of the re-election of Kathleen Wynne, but we're uncertain if it's a majority or a minority government. Here it comes.
Yes. Where's the prompter? Prompter. Where's the prompter? Where did you put it? It's after Rena.
Oh, but it's tape, right?
It's tape.
I can pop it up. I can pop it up.
We're good to go in there.
It's up.
Okay, cut her up. Make it the call.
Okay, I interrupt you right now. Gentlemen, we're going back to everyone. Thank you.
This is tape, right? It's not her reacting.
Here comes the announcement.
Is making the call.
I'll see you dissolve. 1, 2.
And CP24 is declaring a Liberal government. It's not clear.
Stand by, Stephen. We're going to bring you in and chat.
Sorry, do we know how much more?
government win. Carmen, everybody stand by.
Liberal party win.
Frank, you were working on the scandal.
Liberal party
Are they
win.
going to show her
Yeah,
everything?
take.
What does that say to you?
Take it.
Just for fun, it's all 63.
Is that the people in this province are making decisions not as citizens,
Okay, do we have
but as
Carmen standing
consumers.
by? Carmen, everybody
As
standing
citizens, they
by.
would have made a decision to say we have to punish a government.
And dissolve three. Three.
As much as we can get for as little as possible in the shortest amount
Carmen's
of
good.
time.
They said Carmen's good.
Guys,
I
like,
believe
hang on a second.
that
Let's get a reaction
the people
from
of this
the
province will regret this decision. We'll see what happens, but I hope
Well, that was where the other was.
governments will be back at the polls and set this province.
How the significance of CCP
Take one.
win re-elected.
Stand by 4. Take 4.
Minority liberal government.
Stand by liberal pool with a live feed. You got 63. And dissolve just for fun.
Okay, so CP24 has declared a Liberal government. They're obviously standing by to go to Liberal headquarters. Carmen Wong is standing by there to provide some of the reaction. Fairly subdued, as you can see. That's at the Sheraton Center. Still not a lot of people there. I'm going to try to see if I can dial up the executive producer of the election special, Anton Koshani, on FaceTime. Let's see if this works. He is a busy man. Not happening yet. Yep, no answer from Anton yet. He's probably still trying to declare the majority or the minority. I'll log back into the here I am again, just to prove to you that I'm actually doing this in real time. Let's head back up to the election party. You can see it's starting to fill out a little bit. Lots of invited guests watching the coverage as the results continue to come in. This is the decision desk. Looks like they're getting close. And it's Anton, the guy who was just trying to FaceTime. He's just run out of the room, which means usually they have something to say. Let's see. I think we're going to go back down to the control room. Let's see if Anton has spoken to the CTV News control room. Let's go down.
Dave, do you see it? Liberal Majority Board?
Carmen ready.
Can I say it? Yes? Leaders, we are declaring Liberal majority. Stand
Yep,
by.
that's what Anton just told them. Stand by, watch this on television. It's about to happen.
N63 is Department good to go?
Yes.
N1, we're good to go. We're good to go.
Yes. Is it? Yes.
Stand by 2. And take 2.
Stephen, thank you. We have breaking election news. CP24 is making the call. CP24 declares a Liberal majority government. Once again, CP24 declares a Liberal majority government.
There you had it. Kathleen Wynne, next Premier of Ontario, declared on CP24. You saw the decision in the decision room being made. You saw the executive producer run out and declare it. And less than 30 seconds later, CP24 is live on air declaring a Liberal majority government.
I'll
I'll get Stephen to throw to Carmen. Yeah.
To me, it says the brain challenges.
As soon as Smitherman's done,
That is the intense moment. That is the moment that everybody waits for. Here's our Backstage Pass Scribble Live chat room, which is ongoing. Here's a question: do we know yet? Do we know what kind of voter turnout, or has it been too soon? By Nancy, we do not. That usually takes at least a couple of days. WIN's headquarters was singing "Some Kind of Wonderful." Thanks for this candid look behind the scenes. Great perspective. Thank you. Nice to know that you appreciated it. We're living here that 10% of voters decided they were going to vote today. We just heard that from Sean Simpson from Ipsos Reid. Learning so much. Thank you, Gene. Appreciate it. Wow. How were the polls so wrong? What are some of the things you'd like to see from a Liberal majority government? Any comment there? Strengthening the middle class. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Tracy. Thanks for that comment. Taking pictures all the way along, as you can tell. Hopefully, Gene, we answered that question that they were hoping for. They just needed to firm it up. But as you can see, it's actually become quite firm now. It hasn't moved from that 57 for a long time. And then that was the moment there that we were able to declare a Liberal government, and then eventually a Liberal majority government. So feel free to come in. I'll send it out once more. Join in at CP24.com. There we are. Usually when he's here, it means I got to do something, but so far not. It's my little setup. You here for a reason? Okay. Sorry guys, it looks like they might want me to go on the TV show, so I'm just going to flip around. Probably going to give you the control room for a bit, so you can see what's going on, and then I'll do this TV hit and be back with you.
Guys, okay, they're saying Hudax in 5 minutes. That's an arrival. I don't know if he's speaking at that very second, but 5 minutes.
He won't speak until Hudax speaks, right?
It's relevant in Brampton, and it's definitely relevant in Toronto. So there's monies and dollars that are allocated to recognizing transit as a critical part of our movement infrastructure. That is a really big shift. And then lastly, there's the green belt. The Liberals had a very clear and strong platform around continuing to protect and even expand the green belt. The way we do that is by ensuring that we're creating CR22 intensification more.
No, not CR022. You're going into.
So this is a pretty clear message that those.
But that 71 there, it's got SIPTO's on. It's got SIPTO's control.
And that's all you want?
That's all I want. If I have to strip the translation, that's what I'm getting.
Go ahead, do the job that needs to be done.
Hudax 4 minutes away.
Source change.
Stand by 5, Kevin
To see
Newman.
what's happening in terms of
And
Backstage Pass.
he's all
Let's go
five.
live to
Five's up.
Kevin Newman. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Ann. Well,
And he will be using 137.
We went inside the left here. This is the CTV News decision desk. This is a live
That's
picture we headed there. And we got the moment when Anton Kashani and Dave Watts declared the Liberal majority.
So he's got it. We don't have it.
Anton literally run out of the room, and then we went over to the CP24
And
control room, and we
this is
saw a
LIN 3,
phone
137.
call be received at the CP24 control
That's
room
good.
saying it's a Liberal majority government,
He's a
and then we
superstar.
flipped to you
And
declaring the
dissolve
Liberal
back
majority government. The
5.
whole sequence happening on the Backstage Pass in about 15 seconds. That's how fast it
I
went
get
from the
it down.
decision desk to the control room to in your ear and out.
Where are we going now, Lee?
I'm trying to link by FaceTime with Anton Kashani, who's the executive producer of
Back to the panel,
News
okay.
Sandwich, 'cause
No, that's fine. I just need
the
to.
decision was made and get some details of it. So that, if you want to find out and see what we're on CP24.com. It's been a really interesting night, a really interesting look into the process
Okay, guys.
of putting together.
Hudax, if you want to see him walk in.
Okay, so Tim Hudak there announcing that he will not be running in the next election. The question is, how hard will the drums beat for that to happen? You saw him come off the stage there. The key thing for a reporter in the room at that point is to try to get the interview with the leader. As you can see, doesn't look like anyone was successful. He sort of left the stage pretty quickly. Probably awaiting the arrival of Ms. Horvath. They tend not to talk over top of one another. No surprise there. And then, of course, the Victorious headquarters here for the Premier, Kathleen Wynne. She's apparently on her way. Horvath's on her way. Okay. You can see the level of anticipation at Liberal headquarters. I think what we're going to do, it looks like traffic is starting to fall back. I think we're going to wind down this coverage. There's not a lot behind the scenes to show you at this point. The speeches are sort of going and it's getting late, so unless anyone objects strenuously, jump on right now. I'm happy to keep going for you guys. But I suspect this little experiment is winding down. So let me say thank you. If you were watching, and I hope you found it interesting to get a peek inside how we put things together and what it takes to put a broadcast together. We got a couple of pretty good moments, I thought, where you were able to we were able to lift the veil and show you how things happen and why things happen the way they do, and how it's never quite as smooth as it appears on television. It's a little more chaotic and a lot more waiting around. But it's the night that we enjoy, and it's the night that we work hard to get better at. And thanks for being part of it. And CP24.com, the Twitter handle is still around. And I guess we'll shut it down for the Backstage Pass. Thanks very much.